Welcome to Movie House Cinemas. Popcorn? Yes, please. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the movie. Reclining chairs? Don't mind if I do. Action, thriller, romance, we got it all. Discover the cinema today. Movie House Cinemas, home of the movies.
Good evening, and welcome along to Rob and Elliott tonight. Coming up on the show, we'll be chatting to somebody who you'll recognise from Hollyoaks, from Casualty, and from Waterloo Road, and she's soon to be seen on Dancing on Ice. Chelsee Healy is going to be with us.
What have I let myself in for? It is the hardest thing that I've ever done.
We're bringing you some financial news on the show this evening. We're talking pensions and life on the cobbles with Coronation Street star Samia Longchambon.
There were so many icons there when I joined, you know, Jack and Vera and Blanche, Deirdre, Betty, you know, could go on. And I remember for the first couple of weeks in the green room, going in and sitting on the floor because I thought everyone had their own chairs. And I was like, I can't sit there because I've seen Liz Dawn sitting there, so maybe that's her chair. So I did actually sit on the floor for a while.
John Patrick Higgins joins us in the studio to tell us all about his brand new novel, Fine.
He's a man called Paul Reverb. He's a lonely middle-aged man living in an anonymous big city and doing a terrible job and dreaming of being a writer. Like I say, not autobiographical in any way.
We'll find out about this year's Salvation Army Christmas Family Appeal.
What we try to do is make sure that no family goes without, that no child goes without a gift at Christmas. And so we focus on bringing hope and joy through this season, through the giving of gifts.
And one of the rising stars of Irish country music, Conor Chism, also joins us in the studio. You're up against the big stars, Philomena Begley and Susan McCann, Dominic Kerwin, people like that. What's it like getting into the industry with those guys?
Just have to look at them and look at what they've done and kind of take different lessons here and there of examples they've set. So there's no pressure on me at all. I'm just looking forward to going out and singing. That's the main thing for me. So.
Well, starting off the show this week, we're going to get all festive and talk about one of the big Christmas shows at Theatre at the Mill. We're talking about Belfast, actually, and I'm pleased to say the writer Leesa Harker and a couple of the cast members, Rosie and Adam, join us now in the studio. In fact, by the time they're watching this on TV tonight, you'll be in your interval, I think, probably.
Yeah.
The first half over and done with.
Yeah.
So,
sweat lashing off us.
Yeah. Leesa, we'll start with you. You're the writer of it. I mean, this sounds like so much fun. All these dysfunctional characters dumped into one show.
Yeah, I love a dysfunctional character, as everyone knows. Opening night, I will be sitting on the back row, rocking back and forth, hoping that people are laughing in the right places and all of that. I don't enjoy it.
After all the shows you've done, you still get nervous on an opening night?
I do, yeah, because I really care about the audience having the best night out. And it's not just a case of, you know, like put it on and hope for the best. Like, I do put a lot of work and money and everything into it to make sure it's a big production. So yeah, I'll be nervous. I usually have my sister beside me. Right. And she just goes, calm down. They're laughing. They're laughing. Calm down, calm down. So yeah, that's where I'll be. Back row.
Brilliant. So Belfast, actually, we've got MLAs, we've got country music stars,
Yeah, the heap. I kind of thought of this idea a few years ago, and it just kind of popped into my head because I do love the film Love Actually. Yes. And I mean, it's not really a copy of it, but in the sense of like it's three, you know, unique oddball characters coming together and falling in love at Christmas, and each of them have a hurdle to get over, and each of them, their love story is all different. So we have Forbidden Love, which is the two MLAs, one from the green side and one from the orange.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then we have Unrequited Love. So we have a couple who, one person has caught feelings and is doing all this flirting, but it's just fallen dead. Yeah. And then we also have two people who are young widows who have started getting feelings for each other, and their story is one of like love after loss, you know, finding love again. So it's been, you know, the three different things. I think everybody will relate to something there, and obviously it's really funny as well. So.
And it's great to see something a little bit different from just your typical panto that's out there at Christmas time. It's great to see a feel-good Christmas show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more like a rom-com vibe. Yeah. It's a romantic comedy, and you know, like there is a lot of really romantic scenes in it. I think, you know, some people will be, you know, there'll be moments like that. There'll be laugh out loud moments. You know, some people might have a wee tear in their eye as well. There's a bit of everything, but it definitely is a feel-good vibe, Christmassy. Christmas songs, brilliant singers, and all of that,
Excellent. So, is it good, Rosie, to be working this time of the year?
Love it. Love it. And this show is so much fun, and there is something for everybody. Like, I know there's lots of moments to get invested in, and you know, all the rom-com vibes. We all love watching those stories play out. So, yeah, there'll be something for everyone.
Tell us about your character.
She is called Molly. She is an MLA of the green variety.
Okay.
And she is. Found herself kind of new in the job. She's very, very bad at the public speaking, so that's the part that she's not so good at. And then she meets Billy, who's on the orange side, and there's this connection, this little spark, but he's kind of really good at his job and does all the things really well that Molly does not do so well, so they clash a little bit.
And is Billy a good character to play?
Yeah, he's fantastic. It's just been a scream every day going into rehearsals. I don't think I've laughed this much on a job consistently every day, but no.
We wish we could say it was professional, but it's not. We're just laughing because
The script, I do that, and then I kind of walk away, and now they've added their own comedy vibes and the action, and then Andrea, the director, and it just goes up and up and up and up. You know, because when we started rehearsals, I wasn't really laughing at the jokes anymore because I'd been writing them from April, and it's just numb now. But now, when I'm in rehearsals watching them, I am actually sitting laughing again because they're bringing more merriment and fun to it.
We're talking country music later on in the show tonight as well. There is a country music star in this show as well, isn't there?
Gareth Crooks. Yeah.
Gareth. Tell me about his big hit.
Potato Foul Heart. So I am not joking. I'm thinking about releasing it as a single because it is so catchy.
That's not the one that we love the best, though.
Which one's that then?
You should have told me your dad was from Larne.
He's had a series of flops. He's kind of wanting to get famous to get his childhood sweetheart back. In the meantime, his agent, his manager, is kind of secretly in love with him.
Right.
So she kind of tells him to write from the heart, and then he gets his big hit. But the song's up until then. You slip the head on the blackhead path. Slip the hand,
slip the hand.
Even worse. You should have told me your dad was from Larne. And they're very aggressive songs, you know, because he's angry, because he wants love and he can't get it. But you know, love may have been there all along.
No spoilers.
No
spoilers.
And Adam, who should come and see this show then?
I think everybody. Genuinely everybody, and I don't mean that in a way of just trying to blanket everybody, but honestly there's something for everybody. People who want high stakes drama, but mainly people who want a laugh. It is just hilarious. Like, I even reading the script before we started rehearsals, I was howling laughing and texting Leesa like, how have you done this? I don't understand. Like, how has this come out of your brain? But I think everybody, it's maybe not young ones.
I mean, it's not Maggie Muff, you know, it's not crude and rude like that would be, but younger teens and stuff, and you know, it would be fine. If your kids watch Love Actually and love it, they'll love Belfast Actually.
Now, you mentioned Maggie Muff there.
Yeah.
We had her on the show last week. She's coming back in the new year. You're busier than ever.
I know. So I've got 6 days between we close Belfast Actually and we start rehearsals for Maggie Muff. So yeah, it's just, it's the 4 plays all rolled into one. You know, it's not 4 hours long though. You know, it's a normal play. It's just like Maggie was finished and then people kept saying, oh, I missed Dirty Dancing in the Shebeen, or I missed the Feg Run, would you not put that one? So I just thought, you know what, I could put them all together and that covers all bases. So if your granny or your daughter who was 10 and is now 20 wants to go and see a bit of the 50 Shades,
Yeah.
she can come to this and, you know, she can have a taste of all the plays. So that was my reasoning for doing that.
And I said to Caroline last week as well, I love the fans who come to the show, who come dressed in the outfits and everything as well, and the Maggie Muff t-shirts and everything. They really get into it.
They really do, and they're wearing their knickers over their jeans. It says Muffalicious on it. Different phrases from the show. Here's me wah, they have as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they love it. And sometimes they come 3 and 4 times to the one run.
Yeah.
Like, the fans they're outrageous.
Yeah.
But brilliant, you know.
Exactly, yeah. So, Belfast Actually, a theatre at the Mill, it runs until when?
The 30th of December.
Wow, you have plenty of time to get their tickets then.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. The
Thanks,
best of luck with the run.
Thank you.
And we're going to play some country music now.
Brilliant. Garth Crooks.
It's not Garth Crooks now. No, it's a young singer called Cailin Joe. He's one of the rising stars of Irish country. He's doing a big gig on the 17th of December. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that later on. But right now, here is the current single from Cailin Joe.
When you're 16, you don't really care, except about cars and girls and how life's not fair. Saying everything, but I don't have a clue. You never wanna wake up and have to go to school, and you never care enough to stop and think. Wrecking people's heads, bring your parents to their brink. Always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat. Wishing your life away when you're just 16. Begging my parents to let me go out at the weekend, trying to sneak a quick drink while nobody's looking. Always having to leave before you start a bed, but sometimes they never know you're trying to nurse a sore head. And you never care enough to stop and think. Wrecking people's heads, bring your parents to their brink. Always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat. Wishing your life away when you're just 16. And you never wanna be proven wrong, or even hate it when you get helped alone. People setting high standards and saying what you should achieve, but I think I'm doing pretty well for only 16. And you never care enough to stop and think. Wrecking people's heads, bring your parents to their brink. Always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat. Wishing your life away when you're just 16. And you never care enough to stop and think. Wrecking people's heads, bring your parents to their brink. Always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat. Wishing your life away when you're just 16. Always thinking about girls and money and being in the driver's seat. Wishing your life away when you're just 16.
So there we go, great new song from Cailin Joe, who's just one of many rising young country music stars. He'll be appearing at the Corick House Hotel on the 17th of December in a very special Christmas cabaret show. We're going to chat to singer Conor Chism, more about that towards the end of the show. We're talking Dancing on Ice next, and Hollyoaks star Chelsee Healy has just signed up. We'll find out all about that right after these.
Heading to the North Coast, the Jet Centre in Korean offers entertainment for everyone. There's an 8-screen movie house cinema with all the best movies, 10-pin bowling, a massive arcade, soft play for the wee ones. Outdoors, there's a mini fun park and gem mining, plus an 18-hole floodlit mini golf course. Rain or shine, there's something for everyone here at the Jet Centre. Find out more at thejetcentre.co.uk.
And welcome back to Robin Elliott tonight. Next up, a young lady who you'll recognise from TV shows like Hollyoaks and Casualty and Waterloo Road. She's about to take to the ice on Dancing on Ice, and she joins us now. It's Chelsee Healy. How are you today?
I'm really good. Thanks so much for having me, Robin.
So you're a busy person at the moment.
It's non-stop. I'm not going to lie. I'm very busy. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but I'm here, and that's the main thing.
Exactly. And is it difficult juggling life as a mum and also preparing for Dancing on Ice?
Yeah, honestly, I feel being a mum and life is just wild at the minute. I think that when I got offered Dancing on Ice, I was like, yes. And now thinking, wow, now I've got to be a mum. I've got this intense training because when I got offered the part of Dancing on Ice, I thought, yes, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to be in that bubble until training started. And it was like, what have I let myself in for? It is the hardest thing that I've ever done.
And before the offer came in, could you ice skate?
No. The only bit of ice skating that I'd done was obviously like with my eldest on a Christmas time. But I thought, I'll be okay. I can get from A to B. All the technique and everything that comes with. It is so hard. But you know what? It's an amazing opportunity. Like, who gets to learn a skill as amazing as, like, dancing? You know? I mean, Dancing on Ice. Like, who gets to learn that skill? So I'm just so grateful to be able to do it. And, you know, the opportunity was too amazing to not, so.
And how much training is involved then? Is it full time?
Yeah, so we're doing 2 hours every day.
Okay.
And when they initially told me that, I thought, that's not a lot at all. Until you actually start and it's like, now I get why it is just 2 hours. It is very intense, and obviously with it being so dangerous. So yeah, 2 hours is more than enough on the ice every day.
Now, we're also taking a look at some new research about people treating themselves. And according to this, 1/4 of people in the UK never buy themselves a gift or treat themselves. What do you make of that?
I find it really, really sad. I do. But you know what, as well, I can completely get it because I'm a mum of 2. So obviously my priority every time is my babies, and if I'm going to buy for anybody, it's going to be for my daughters. So I can completely get it as well. Like, an AliExpress research also says that the budget constraints is like on a high of like 25%. So people are going through it at the minute. It is a really, really hard time for people. But it's so hard because treating yourself can be taking a bath. You know, it can be just taking that hour's peace that you need. Just if you treat yourself, you know, and if you just take that little bit of time, you can be the best version of yourself. And yeah, I would definitely urge people just to take a little bit more time, just to take care of yourself. And you know, if you reset and recharge, then in life and in your work life, in your personal life, if people are getting the best version of you, then you can't go wrong, you know.
And what's your go-to thing for treating yourself?
My go-to thing is probably having a nap, having a not interrupted bath from the kids.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for fresh new pyjamas.
And I'm doing that kind of thing this weekend. I'm actually taking myself away to a cottage by the sea just to get some sleep.
That sounds like heaven to me. You know, just being able just to chill, nice set of pyjamas, have a good night's sleep, no interruptions. Like, that is heaven.
So when Dancing on Ice comes to an end, you will be absolutely exhausted. So will you take a holiday at the end of it?
I hope to. I mean, I've not booked anything, but let me just see where I am at that time. If I do, then it'll probably be a last minute getaway. I'm not planning anything right now. So yeah, we'll see how well I do, and if I deserve a treat. I might be out in the first week and kick myself, so then I won't be going nowhere.
And what about your plans for Christmas then this year? What have you got lined up?
Oh my God, it's my first Christmas as a family of 4, and it's my daughter's first birthday on the 21st, so it's a really, really special Christmas this year. So just to embrace it and just to enjoy family time, it's going to be really special, and just make sure that the girls have the best time.
Well, Chelsee, it's been lovely talking to you. The best of luck with Dancing on Ice.
And you, Robin.
And will you be nervous on that first show on the ice?
Bag of nerves already, in the live shows haven't even started.
There is a lot of pressure, especially being on primetime TV.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
Well, the best of luck. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, my next guest has been described by music legend David Holmes as one of the most interesting and funny people he's ever encountered. And I cleaned that one up. You'll have to read the back of the book to understand what he really said. The book's called Fine, and I'm pleased to say that the author, John Patrick Higgins, joins us now in the studio. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you, Robin?
Good, thank you. Good to see you. Congratulations on the new book.
Thank you very much.
Which is out now. You're many things. You're an author, a playwright, a theatre director. I mean,
I'm a John of all trades. It's
how
true,
do you describe yourself?
I think writer just covers virtually everything I do, because it's the continuum that goes through everything I do as well. So I've finally accepted the mantle of writer.
Yeah.
You know, people tried to dissuade me for many years from calling myself that, but I persevered.
Yeah.
And here I am. With a novel. It's true.
With a novel. Now, the first time I heard of you, you had a book out called Teeth.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very strange. A book all about teeth.
Yeah. It's a memoir of my teeth.
Why?
It was an unusual choice for a first book. But I had really bad teeth, Robin.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very...
They look all right now.
They're televisual now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can bring me
You
on.
had the Simon Cowell job, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, all over. You know, I look like I'm wearing a stocking mask. But I thought, well, it's going to cost me a lot of money to do this. I might try and get something out of it. So I wrote a book about it, because obviously writing a book is a really good way of earning a lot of money. And they published it. And so my first actual book in the world is a memoir of my rotten teeth.
So that was book number 1.
Yeah.
And you've moved on to this one now, which is called Fine.
Well, the thing with that is that I wrote the middle book while I'd already signed the contract for this book to go out.
Right.
But it was a much quicker process for some reason for the first book to come out. So this was always coming out. This was always going to be my first book. I've been writing this, God help me, for about 7 years.
Right.
And then COVID came in, and then and publishing is always glacial.
Yeah.
So this was always going to be my first book until it wasn't.
Right.
And now it's my second, but my first novel.
Yes. And this isn't autobiographical. This is complete fiction.
I can't stress that enough. It's in the first person. He's approximately my age. So a lot of people do think that it's in some way about me, but it's not. I've done terrible things to this man all the way through this, and none of those things have happened to me. And I'm very pleased about that, because I give him a terrible time.
So who is he? Who is he? What happens to him?
He's a man called Paul Reverb. He's a lonely middle-aged man living in an anonymous big city and doing a terrible job and dreaming of being a writer. Like I say, not autobiographical in any way. He has a terrible time, but he has dignity and he perseveres. He has some mettle, and it's the story of basically a year of his life and what happens. And, basically a series of calamities, and then potentially some sort of redemption at the end.
Okay, now I'm seeing a lot of music references in the book as well.
Yeah.
Elton John popped up there. The Golden Girls theme popped up
There
as
you
I was
go, the
flicking
greats.
through it. You know, Andrew Gold, of course, who did the Golden Girls theme. Everything's popping up. So music obviously plays a big part in your life as well.
It does. Paul's a big collector of vinyl. He cocoons himself into an empty house full of vinyl.
Yeah.
These records are his friends. The chapter you're talking about there is his first records he ever bought, and there are a series of miserable songs that came out in the 70s. I think Terry Jack's Seasons in the Sun is in there as well. All these lachrymose pop tunes.
No Regrets by the Walker
Yeah,
Brothers.
there you go, there's another one.
Lonely Boy by Andrew Gold.
That is a weird song. That's
It is,
a
isn't
very
it?
strange song. But I'm obviously, kind of obsessed with music as well, so it's very easy to pull on a lot of these things and throw them into the mix.
So what was your first record then?
It sounds achingly pretentious, but it was Duel by Propaganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not bad, is it?
That's not bad.
That's not bad, it's quite cool.
Yeah.
That's the first record I bought.
Yeah.
The first record I ever owned was Prince Charming, the album,
Yeah.
on cassette by Adam and the Ants.
Wow.
Again, pretty good.
Yeah.
It got really bad later on, but I started off very strong.
So if I was to go through your record collection now, what would I find?
You would find that I'd got rid of vast amounts of it.
Right.
Yeah, most of my record collection is on CD, if you can imagine. And I'm embarrassed by most of the 90s. It all went slightly awry.
Yeah.
But it's very cool now,
And are you listening to new stuff? Are you keeping an ear on what's happening out there?
No, I'm an old man. So but what I do is I go back and listen to things that I want to get. Again, it's not autobiographical, but I do go back and live with the records that I have and get to know every nuance and every breath and every note. And, really, really appraise. There's a deluge. Anyone can make music on a computer in their room now.
Yes.
I know, because I do that.
Yeah.
And it's just too much. It's a tumult. So I just want a few really good records that I can just spend time with.
So are you going to release some? Are you going to release something?
Oh, I'm hoping to get a Christmas single out.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I've got a band called Ebbing House.
Yeah.
And, we're working on... very slowly and very lazily on a Christmas single which may come up by next Easter, because that's the pace we're working with. But I'm ever hopeful that it's going to come out before Christmas and go nowhere.
Right.
Because the level of success I can appreciate is going nowhere.
Is there another book in the pipeline? Or have you had enough?
No, never.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy it now. There's another novel written, and there are about 3 others sort of up on bricks in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Which I'm writing one at the moment, which is about an 80s pop star going to Jersey to play at the Battle of the Flowers, which is a big thing they have there. And it's about the most fun I've ever had writing anything. And at the moment, it's just like the world-building bit where I get to design all of his record albums and I get to do, I get to invent his songs and find out where he was and what guitars he was playing. Eventually, it's going to have a plot.
Yeah.
And that will all come crashing down around my ears and it'll just be the worst thing I've ever written. But at the moment, it's sheer joy.
Yeah.
It's just a sheer joy of inventing stuff and going on and on and on. I love it. So, loads of things in the pipeline. I've got another novel finished. And I've got another book, I've got a sequel to Teeth coming out next June.
Excellent.
That's called Spine, and that's about my bad back.
Right, okay.
I'm basically just cataloguing all of my failing body parts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good as well. I've been following you on socials
Have you?
over the last few months.
Well, I can only apologise.
Because we've only just met a few weeks back for the first time. So I added you, or you added me on Instagram or whatever. And what I love is your love for movies. Because when you posted other things, you're giving me stuff to go and search for on YouTube. And you're filling if I'm off for the weekend, you're filling my weekend now. Because I'm watching those films.
I am a resource. Use me.
But the stuff you love, really weird, old kind of Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and all kinds of, and all the obscure British movies and things.
Well, Robin, I am weird and I'm old, so and I think those films reflect me. I love those things. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of terrible things happened in the 20th century. I don't know if anyone noticed. But they made some cracking films. Yeah. And they made some weird films.
They did, yes.
And I like strange, old, black and white, creepy films. And, I occasionally make films and I try to imbue them with that sense of weirdness and hand-crankedness.
Yeah.
And I never do it.
No.
It never comes off. But one day,
yeah,
maybe I'll make a film
yeah,
that actually reflects what I'm interested in. I've been quite happy with the films I've made. They've been all right. But,
yeah,
I mean, the ambition is to always push forward and do more and more strange and weird things.
Yeah. Brilliant.
You know, that's because why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Push it to the nth degree.
Exactly. Right. Fine. Is out now.
It is out now.
All good bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to ask you to read a little bit from it. Can you? Is there any?
I vetted it for swears. Yeah? Don't worry.
Because they'll be panicking behind the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
You can do it.
I can do it.
I will hand you the book, and I will give you a big intro and say, "Fine" by John Patrick Higgins is out now, and all good bookstores, and you probably get it online as well. Can you? Amazon. All
you
that?
can definitely get it on those big, terrible
those
websites.
Big websites as well. We earn no money from it probably, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you do all right? Do you? Yeah. Okay. Well, here he is reading a little extract from Fine.
I was sitting in a booth in the Arts Centre. It was an oppressive building largely comprised of cement blocks and metal railings. The cafe and bar area were a sort of dingy burnt orange and lit, like everywhere else these days, by bare 40-watt bulbs hanging from the ceiling on dangling wires. Lampshades and being able to see properly were so last century. Posters for forthcoming attractions slumped in box frames on the walls, and at the box office, a girl in a company sweatshirt was over-laughing at everything a goth boy was saying. He was wearing a backpack with a bottle of water attached to it and carrying an umbrella. Obviously an all-terrain goth. I didn't know that she was laughing too much. Perhaps he was an incredibly funny goth. He didn't look funny, unless she was just laughing at his appearance, in which case he stood there and took it for far too long. The building was like a brutalist school assembly hall and had the high, clattering ambience of a swimming pool. What it really reminded me of was Slade Prison from the sitcom Porridge. The bare concrete walls, the central reservation, the clanking metal. Though the clanking here was the sound of baristas opening drawers of coffee grounds and not lags banging tin mugs on cell grills. I used to think that prison looked okay, all teddy-watching page 3 lovelies on the walls and peeling oranges. I went to a 70s comprehensive that was infinitely more terrifying than penal servitude. At school I was a lonely gobber without an avuncular fletch to keep an eye out for me. Not even the teachers bothered. Some of them joined in.
Love it. Thank you so much. Good to see you and the best of luck with the book.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Right, still to come on the show this evening, we're talking about life on the cobbles with Coronation Street star Samia Longchambon, who joins us right after these.
Here we are on the north coast, where sporting legends are made. He needs this putt to advance to the next stage, but can he do it? The crowd are holding their breath. Can he cope with the pressure?
Dad, would you take the shot?
Yes!
Yes!
Well. And welcome back to Robin Elliott tonight. Now we're taking a look at some new research now that shows that women are retiring with pension pots which are about £100,000 smaller than men's pensions. To talk about this further and to talk about life on the cobbles, earlier this week I caught up with Coronation Street star Samia Longchambon. We're talking pensions next, and according to a new report, the UK is still at least 20 years away from closing the gender pension gap. That's according to the Scottish Widows' latest Women and Retirement report. To talk about this further, I'm pleased to say that Coronation Street star Samia Longchambon joins us now. So thank you for joining us. So first of all, tell us why you got involved with the launch of this report.
So I'm really happy to be involved because I didn't realise that there was such a gender pensions gap between how much men retire with and how much women have saved to retire with. So I feel like we need to spread the word to the women and let them know that they need to start thinking about the pensions earlier.
When we talk about the gap, there is a massive gap out there, but surely it's the same kind of living expenses for men and women.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment the gap is about 30%, which is quite substantial. It is closing, but it's just not closing fast enough. I think there's different factors that have caused it, such as, you know, women going off to have babies, having maternity leave, career changes, looking after elderly relatives, things like that. And also the gender pay gap is still there in some industries. But yeah, I think a lot of it is women not necessarily thinking about the pensions early enough.
And do you think we're starting to think about pensions at a much younger age now, or is it still something we just worry about in later years?
I think maybe a bit of both. The gap is closing, but like I say, it's not closing fast enough. So maybe it is something that we need to spread the word about and get people thinking about earlier. Sort of, you know, these pension chats aren't really something that are discussed much between 20, 30, even 40-year-olds. So yeah, the sooner that we think about it, the better. Like myself, for instance, I've had my pension luckily since I was 17. When I joined Corick, Bill Tarmy, who played Jack Duckworth, sat me down and gave me some amazing advice to start my pension, which I thankfully listened to, because obviously I feel like my future self is going to thank me for it. Yeah. So yeah, I've had mine for like 25 years, and actually once it's set up, it's something that you don't really need to think about again.
Yeah, so you've been in Corick for 25 years now.
Yeah, in April it'll be 25 years, yeah.
A lifetime.
I know, literally, yeah.
And we kind of watched you grow up in front of the nation.
I know, it is, it's crazy. I was 17 when I joined, and yeah, I'm 42 now, so it's a long time.
And what was it like joining a soap at such a young age with so many big stars?
It was just incredible. Being from Manchester, joining Corick was just a dream come true. I'd grown up with the show. We actually used to nickname my nan Hilda Ogden because she used to wear rollers and a hairnet, and unfortunately my nan passed away before I joined Corick, but I know that she will have been really happy to see me there. But yeah, it was amazing, and there were so many icons there when I joined, you know, Jack and Vera and Blanche, Deirdre, Betty, you know, could go on. And I remember for the first couple of weeks in the green room going in and sitting on the floor because I thought everyone had their own chairs, and I was like, I can't sit there because I've seen Liz Dawn sitting there, so maybe that's her chair. So I did actually sit on the floor for a while.
So over the years you've had many great storylines playing the part of Maria, but do you have a favourite storyline?
I loved when I first joined. There'll always be really special memories working with Bill and Liz, who played Jack and Vera, because it was iconic. It was such a nice way to join the show. I don't know. There's been so many over the years. I can't really pick one out because every storyline's been so different.
And it's great to see your character develop. And Maria, she's now become a counsellor.
Yeah. That was like a turn that I didn't think Maria would take, from hairdresser to counsellor. It was quite a shock, but I'm quite enjoying it.
And is there any big storylines for Maria coming up in the near future that you can tell us about?
I can't tell you because I'd have to kill you. So sorry.
Now, just coming back to the pensions, if people want some more information or they need more advice, where can they go to for that?
So yeah, just Scottish Widows have got loads of advice on their website, but you can just go to any pensions providers. They'll be really easy to use advice on there. And yeah, I think the first step is knowing where you're at financially yourself, and then going from there, speaking to the experts, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And actually, it's not that difficult. Just start thinking about it, set it up, and get on your way, because your future self will definitely thank yourself for it.
And of course, it's better to take an interest in pensions when you're younger, because it will help you in later life.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's having that peace of mind, and also having that option to stop working when you would like to, and knowing what your life might look like with how much you've been able to save.
Well, thank you for joining us. Great to see you, and of course, we'll keep watching you on Coronation Street.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Right, still to come on the show this evening, we're chatting to Irish country music star Conor Chism. But before all that, let's take a look and see what's happening throughout Belfast and beyond. Here we go with this week's What's On guide. We're starting in Antrim, and the Enchanted Garden, which runs at Antrim Castle Gardens until the 21st of December. And Antrim Castle Gardens comes to life with a magical Christmas experience for all the family. You can visit the Wonderland Wood, enjoy the twinkling lights, and drop in on Santa. And don't forget the rides, attractions and mouth-watering food in the festive food fair as well. It's an unforgettable evening to start your Christmas in style. Talking about starting your Christmas in style, if you want to catch a panto this year, the big one at the Grand Opera House is the Pantomime Adventures of Peter Pan, which runs right through until the 12th of January. And Northern Ireland's largest pantomime is back for another magical year. This time we'll see the return of Belfast panto favourites May McFetridge as Mrs. Smee, Paddy Jenkins as Starkey, Adam C. Booth as Smee, Jolene O'Hara as Captain Hook, and Aisling Sharkey as Wendy. And they'll be joined by Belfast local Jordan Walker as Peter Pan and Georgia Brierley Smith as Tink. Over at Belfast's Lyric Theatre, you've got a Christmas Carol this year, which runs through until the 11th of January. So why not step into the enchanting world of Charles Dickens's timeless classic, A Christmas Carol, joyously reimagined for the stage by the award-winning and much-loved playwright Mary Jones. Christmas with Anton Dubek and Friends is coming to the Waterfront Hall on the 1st of December for a performance like no other. Embark on a dazzling journey into a festive wonderland as Strictly's one and only Anton Dubek brightens up your Christmas with his brand new show. The Ballroom King and Strictly Come Dancing judge joins forces with his dynamic live band and vocalist Lance Ellington, as well as a troupe of extraordinary dancers to bring you a magical evening of music, dance and laughter. Duke Special has announced his only Belfast headline show for 2024, and this is happening at his favourite city centre venue, the Empire Music Hall. So why not join Duke Special and some very special guests on Thursday the 5th of December. And finally for now, if you want to catch a movie in cinemas this weekend, here is one for the kids. Disney's Moana 2 has arrived, and this time Moana journeys into the far seas of Oceania after receiving an unexpected call from her way-finding ancestors.
From the ancestors to sail to new skies and reconnect our people across the entire ocean. Maui?
Boat snack! Oh! Boat snack upgrade. Bacon and eggs? Why didn't you bring the pig last time?
So up next, we're going to find out about this year's Salvation Army Family Appeal, and I'm pleased to say the captain, Jonathan Rouffet, joins us in the studio. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Robin. Thank you for having me today.
Good to see you. So a busy time of year for most charities and a busy time of year for the Salvation Army as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Our Family Appeal has been running for 44 years now, and year on year we exist to support families who are struggling over the Christmas period specifically. And what we try to do is make sure that no family goes without, that no child goes without a gift at Christmas. And so we focus on bringing hope and joy through this season, through the giving of gifts.
But sadly, we see every year the figures seem to go up. There seems to be more and more families needing help and support at this time of year.
Absolutely. There's an impact on the cost of living on families, and families who might have been okay are starting to struggle a little bit now. And so we're finding that year on year those numbers are increasing, sadly. And last year, I think the totals were about 2,000 families supported. That's 5,000 children.
Wow, big numbers. So how exactly does the Salvation Army help people then?
So the Salvation Army supports by giving gifts at Christmas time. We are able to do that because of the generosity of the people of Northern Ireland, and we're really grateful for all the support that they give to us. And so we receive gifts, donated gifts, new unwrapped gifts that we can then pass on to families that have been referred to us. And that then just brings a little bit of joy and hope at Christmas. So
you launched the campaign recently, and you
Yes.
launched it with somebody who will all recognise from TV shows like Derry Girls and all the other million things he's done over the years. Ian McElhenney, he's a big supporter, isn't he?
He's a huge supporter, and we are really grateful for his time and his energies. And it's a natural fit for us because Ian McElhenney has been a supporter of the Salvation Army for many years. And we're really grateful to him and to other organisations and companies that support. Tesco's have, Phoenix Gas have in the past, and many others. So we're really grateful to Ian and everything that he brings to our family appeal.
So the campaign is up and running right now. So if people want to get involved, if they want to donate, how do they do that?
So there are a couple of ways to do that. First of all, you can drop off any new and unwrapped gifts at our churches and centres right across Northern Ireland. Or if you want to donate money so that we can then purchase the gifts that are necessary, you can, using whatever search engine you use, just look at the Salvation Army Family Appeal 2024, and it will come up with some information as how you can give online as well.
And I know at this time of year as well, you're also looking for volunteers too, aren't you?
We are, and what we do is, what we encourage people to do is to just contact their local Salvation Army to see ways in which they can support. And as I mentioned earlier, without the general public, without the people of Northern Ireland, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and we rely heavily on our volunteers year on year. So we're really grateful for all of their time and energy that they give to us.
And when it comes to Northern Ireland, for such a small place, we really do support charities. You must have seen that. You're a new visitor to Northern Ireland, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. It's really overwhelming. We launched last week, but actually the response already and the donations already have been overwhelming. And in the office, it's really good to hear the good news of that, because again, because of that generosity of spirit, it means that we can support over 5,000 children every year right across Northern Ireland.
So if people want to get involved, they want to support you, where do they go to for that then? Is there some website details you can give us?
So you can look up the salvationarmy.org.uk/family-appeal, and you'll be able to find a website with all the information about where you can drop off toys as well. There are some drop-off points, Be a Star drop-off points at Tesco stores. And then there's some information about how you can access the Just Giving site to donate if you'd like to donate some money.
And what about for families out there who may be feeling the pressure right now, may be worried about the run up to Christmas?
We just really strongly encourage them to have a conversation with some professionals, healthcare professionals, or it might be teachers at school, or it could be social services workers, and they will be able to then refer to us. But it's not an
easy conversation to have, you know?
It's a really difficult one, and I think if they need a more personal conversation, they can always give us a ring. Give us a ring and just find out how they can access some support at this time.
Brilliant. Well, good to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in, and the best of luck with this year's campaign.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. Right, still to come on the final part of the show. We're talking country music, and Conor Chism joins us right after these.
Let the good times roll at Super Strikes at the Jet Centre. You can now book your lane online. We've got 14 bowling lanes and 4 mini bowling lanes. Plus we serve delicious hot food and snacks, or enjoy a cold beverage with your food after the game. Discover bowling today at the Jet Centre. Jet Centre, entertainment for everyone.
Oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te. Oh sole mio, sta in fronte a te. Sta in fronte a te. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait. When I first saw you, with your smile so tender, my heart was captured, my soul surrendered. It's been a lifetime waiting for the right time, but now that you're near, the time is here, Lord, at last. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight.
So there we go, some great music from Conor Chism, who's just one of a number of great rising stars in the world of Irish country. We're taken to the stage of the Corick House Hotel on the 17th of December for a very special Christmas show, a Christmas country cabaret. And I'm pleased to say Conor joins us in the studio. How are you today?
I'm not so bad, Robin, and yourself?
Very well, thank you. So this is going to be a big night on the 17th, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah, it is. I'm looking forward to it now.
So who else is joining you on the bill then?
Well, there's a good few number of artists on there. Most looking forward to seeing the likes of Jimmy Donnelly and Amber Campbell coming up. She's a great young singer, so she is. And there's a young fella, Cailin, that Malcolm's been ranting and raving about. So there are a few acts that I'm really looking forward to seeing. So there.
So this is the rising stars of Irish country. So you guys are coming into the business now, and I mean, you're up against the big stars. You're still around doing great business. The likes of Philomena Begley and Susan McCann, Dominic Kerwin, people like that. What's it like getting into the industry with those guys?
Well, it's like us here. You just have to look at them and look at what they've done and kind of take different lessons here and there of examples they've set. So there's no pressure on me at all. I'm just looking forward to going out and singing. That's the main thing for me. So.
I mean, you're doing the big gigs with them. I know you've done the Northern Ireland Country Music Awards and stuff. I mean, they are welcoming to the new acts coming up, aren't they?
Big time, yeah. It's great to see such a large collection of different artists on stage. Even when I was out there, the Oma Music Festival there a couple of weeks ago, celebrating Frankie McBride, my grandfather, Frank Chism. Fantastic. It was a great experience. It's great to be involved with live bands and celebrating other artists. So all things love doing.
Let's talk about your granddad, because a lot of people,
Yes.
in fact, everybody out there remember Frank as the first real Elvis impersonator,
Yeah.
and he's still best known for that today.
Well, he is indeed. He's nothing short of spectacular as a human and as a performer. So He done lots. He ended up in America.
Yeah.
He was in over in England, so he was, and he ventured down south as well. So he's covered a lot of ground, and he's just nothing but high praises about him.
And were you always destined then to go into the business yourself? Did he kind of push you forward?
Well, it wasn't. It was more of a case of Malcolm calls it the impromptu session. No, I just came out of the blue just one day, and it was Christmas after Christmas dinner. My granny says, Frank, why don't you let Conor sing a song? His grand would have played the guitar at the table after every Christmas dinner. So I sang Bridge Over Troubled Water, one of my favourite songs.
Yeah.
So after that granda, he invited me out to Broderick's, and we done a good few things here and there. It was a great success. Colin, he invited me back and we had another great gig, and that kind of sparked the Throne Herald, the Ulster Herald. They done a bit on me. Sang a solo mio, it was Now or Never.
And they're big songs.
They are. Everybody says that, but they're comfortable for me, you know. So they are.
And not your kind of typical country song either, you know.
No, well, it's like I like to dip my foot in every bit of water. I'm a huge Mario Lanza fan.
Right.
Opera singer. So I've different tastes of music throughout everything. So, but Malcolm, he got in contact with me and he invited me along to the music awards and sang Just Pretend, and it was like I got a standing ovation and everybody enjoyed it, so that was the main thing. Making people happy, that's the main thing, so it is.
And we talk about Malcolm, we're talking about Malcolm McDowell, who's a big force in the industry, and he's the guy who's putting on not only the Northern Ireland Country Music Awards, but this Cabaret show on the 17th as well.
Yeah.
And he's a big supporter, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's a fan of myself, I know, and that's a good thing. So I aim to go out there and just entertain everybody and do the best I can. So big thanks to Malcolm for doing all this here and putting me out there. And
I know Malcolm is on hosting duties on the night, but also joining him as another legend in the Northern Ireland music world, Big T from Downtown Radio.
He enjoyed my version of American Trilogy.
Right, yes,
so he did, So he plays that there all over the place, so he does, and even the likes of Highland Radio, the boys over at Highland, they've got my full album all on request. So
is that not a scary thing to do, choose an Elvis song when your granddad is so well known for the Elvis number?
Not at all.
No?
People have asked me that, but at the same time, it's like I'm me.
Yeah.
I have my own sound, so I sing a different flavour of stuff. That was the whole point of my album.
Yeah.
I must get you one by the way.
Yes, I'd love to hear it,
yes. But it's completely different flavour of music from start to finish. There's 14 songs off the top of my head, only 3 of them are Presley songs.
Right, okay.
So different from rock and roll to great crooner ballads to even the likes of Glenn Campbell. It's only make believes. There's lovely spread. And
great song.
I keep my goal is to keep building my repertoire of different stuff I can do, but it's hard to beat a Presley song.
Oh, of course. Let's talk about your hometown as well, which of course is Omagh.
Yeah.
And I mean, Omag's, it's put forward many country stars over the last few years, haven't they?
There's huge. Omag's one of them places that just seems to be a hub for musicians.
Yeah.
There's lots of people who've come out of Omagh. Like that Omagh Music Festival we done was celebrating the talent of Omagh and the widespread district of Omagh. So, you know, you have obviously my granda.
Yeah.
And you've great musicians coming out of Omagh. Then you've got Frankie McBride, we celebrated there as well. Even the surrounding areas, you got Brian Call and people like that. So it's a great place to be from, and I take lots of pride in where I'm from. So.
And another rising star as well, Cara McGillian too.
Yes, indeed.
That's where she's from too.
Yeah,
so
that's slightly outside of Omagh. She'd argue so she would Killyclahar, but same place anyway.
So looking ahead into next year then, what's the big plans for 2025?
Well, we've got the Northern Ireland Country Music Awards in February, so I look forward to that there. I've a few different plans in terms of ideas and routes I could go, but there's lots of huge opportunities out there, so I'm gonna take them while I can. So
brilliant. We're going to play another one of your songs in just a second, but the big night, 17th of December in the Corick House Hotel.
Indeed.
We look forward to that. Conor, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much, Robin.
So that's all we have time for on the show this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my guests. And to play us out, let's have something else from our special guest, Conor Chism. I'll see you back here same time next week. Bye-bye.
Burning love, Conor Chism. Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. And higher, higher, it's burning through to my soul. Well,